Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Seer session. I'm Rufus Lunn. I head up the ISV program here at Seer 365. And today we are going to be delving into the wonderful world of warehousing. From the original Wrigley's pack of gum, I think the original barcode, to entire distribution networks based off of the technology. I am joined today by Mark Hamlin from InsightWorks to run through their solution for mobile barcoding. Mark, over to you.
Thank you very much. Yes, 60 or 70 years of barcoding already. It's an amazing technology. It's very long life for it. All right. So what we're going to do today, though, is talk about sort of how you can use that barcoding, with modern technology, specifically Business Central, and the solutions that we provide from InsightWorks for barcoding. All right. So primarily, we're going to cover off Warehouse Insight, but we're going to talk about a few different solutions as we go through here, and actually have a look at a demo of the software. Very brief. We've got half an hour to spend together. We're going to make that time count. Now, a little bit about what we're doing today. So just briefly an overview. If you don't know who InsightWorks is, talk a little bit about that. Then we'll go through, the various options we have for barcoding, and then we'll do the demo and talk about how you can, work with us and partner with us and those sorts of things. So about 30 minutes. If you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat window there, and Rufus will, prompt me when you have those questions. All right. Now with that, a little bit about InsightWorks. This is actually an older slide. We have closer to 700 partners, reseller partners at this point. We do like to work through the partner channel. So, we don't work directly typically, but, we'll work through you. We'll help you do the pre-sales, all those sorts of things. So, if you sign up as a reseller, you get a lot of benefits. You don't have to use some of the free products I'll talk about in a moment, but really it's pretty easy to get signed up. There's no commitments or obligations really that are anything significant. Now, as far as the applications, we work mostly in manufacturing and distribution. So warehousing is one of the key elements of it. The barcoding specifically. We've got way more than 10,000 devices out there now running the software, including the paid version and the free version I'll talk about in a moment. On the shipping side, over 12 months, we typically do over 6 million shipments through our software, and that's a total of it's close to $80 million worth of shipping labels that are generated through our software. So pretty significant volume of shipping that we put through our software as well. And this, of course, is all built into Business Central. So all these applications you see on the left here, all for Business Central. Many are for SaaS and on-prem as well. The manufacturing side, which we won't really spend much time on today, we have a pretty comprehensive suite of manufacturing products out there. Everything from planning to scheduling to execution, all of those sorts of things are available as well. So if you need more information about any of this, you can get a hold of us or go to the website. There's online videos and all sorts of things on there you can look at if you're interested in any of the solutions that we won't actually cover today. One thing I did want to talk about really quickly though are the free applications that we have available. So you don't have to partner with us to get access to these free applications. Some of these are cloud only. Some, if you're a partner and you have customers on-prem, we'll provide them from on-prem. But you can get these from AppSource. You don't have to register with us. You don't have to do anything. They're yours to use, to extend, to sell if you want, anything you want to do with them. So the ones in green here are things that you might want to use as a partner for your implementations, right? Cloud printing, tools for doing migrations and managing data and things like that much more easily than Rapid Start. Barcode generation, so you can build one report for on-prem and cloud. It works the same way. More fonts and things like that available in standard Business Central. So good tools, all free. Down here are the user level tools that you'd want to get into. So graphical scheduler, pretty straightforward. It shows you production orders, and you can drag and drop those production orders. But you can plot almost anything you want on that chart. So just through configuration, you can add any custom table on there. So if you want to see a calendar view or a Gantt chart or whatever, you can extend that. We've got sample code online for it. You can do whatever you want. You can embed it in your own solutions, whatever you want to do with it. You don't even have to tell us you're doing it. You grab it off AppSource, you can tell. Doc extender, simple drag and drop. Document management, the big advantage of that is we actually store the files in SharePoint or in Business Central. So in SharePoint, then you can add Power Automate and alerts and versioning and all sorts of things. So you get a pretty comprehensive document management solution just by adding this free tool. It lets you very easily drag and drop stuff into Business Central. Now, these last two are the more interesting ones because, what I often say is why bother paying for warehouse management or shipping software? Well, you don't have to. Both of these are free. So WMS Express does sort of the core things you need in a warehouse, receiving, picking or shipping, bin movements and stock takes, right? So you get all of that in WMS Express and it's completely free. And again, you don't even have to tell us you're using it. And Ordership Express, if you're doing domestic parcel shipping, so only domestic and parcel, that goes out and it'll integrate with the carriers. There's almost 100 carriers supported. And you can go out and get your shipping labels, get your rates, get your tracking numbers, all of that sort of thing directly from within Business Central. No extra software required. All right, so those are the free applications. What we actually want to talk about today is more in depth on the warehousing side and barcoding. So first of all, there's lots of people out there doing warehouse management and barcoding. So why would you want to look at us, or why would you want to switch to us if you're using an existing solution that you're comfortable with? What makes us better? Or why would you want to work with us? So really very advanced functionality. So more advanced than what a lot of people have out there, than most people have out there. We do tie in directly with Business Central. So we're built into Business Central. So we use all the core capabilities and configuration of Business Central, but we add quite a bit to it. So very comprehensive. And you're dealing with one ISV for all your requirements. So you need fulfillment management, you need shipping, you need warehouse management, you need production management, all of those sorts of things you get from us. So you're not just going to this ISV for warehouse management and this guy over here for scheduling and this guy over here for something else. Come to us, we've got everything you need in one package and everything works together. All right. And you can buy them all independently. You're not buying one big, massive ISV database. You're buying these little pieces or using the free pieces where they make sense, and they all work together. Now, one of the key areas here is the ability to extend the solution. So we have a built-in app designer. And what that means is within Business Central, you can create a new mobile application just by dragging and dropping. Basically, low code or no code software development, and you build your mobile apps. And with the App Wizard, you can actually do that. You hit next a bunch of times, put in some table names and things like that, and you've got a mobile application. We even have an AI version of that where you just describe the application you want and it'll build it for you. So you can extend existing applications, you can create new applications, you can make the system do essentially whatever you want. And if you don't want to do that, great. We have an add-on catalog, a marketplace, where there are a whole bunch of different little extensions that change the behavior of the software, that add features like fixed asset counting and proof of delivery and things like that you can plug in and go, and it's all free. And you can add your own solutions to that add-on catalog as well if you want. All right. And then, of course, support for all the hardware. We do have RFID support. Implementation is quick and easy. We have a very simple implementation process. You can do it yourself, or you can have us do that implementation on your behalf. And one of the key points here is we can provide the software, the hardware in North America and EU countries. We can provide all that hardware. And of course, you get all the support from us directly if you want as well. And then, of course, we have the free solution, which I teased in the previous slide, and the full subscription version as well. All right, so let's talk about what we typically see in the warehouse just before we jump into barcoding. So the order fulfillment worksheet, these are the sort of end-to-end solutions, things that work together. You can buy each of these independently and use them. But the order fulfillment worksheet, what that does is it answers the question, what can I ship today? Right? So you have a warehouse manager or shipping manager that comes in, you've gotten 1,000 orders from the e-commerce site, and what can I actually get out the door today? This will tell you, and it'll automatically create your picks and your shipments and everything else for you. So massive time saver there. All right. Now, once we've created the picks, we then go out to one of our barcoding solutions, one of our WMS solutions. So WMS Express, again, free, so you can pick and ship from that. Or if you go to Warehouse Insight, you've got that full capability that you can extend yourself. Tons of sample code, tons of sample videos on how to do those extensions. You tailor it yourself. Sorry, there's a question? Oh, okay. So lots of things you can do there with those. Once we've picked it within the warehouse, we need to get it out the door. We have a full dynamic shipping solution, which you can integrate with hundreds of carriers. We do parcel, truckload, all those sorts of things in there. Get the labels, the bills of lading, everything you need, get the tracking numbers in the system, and get the product out the door. Or you can use Order Ship Express for those domestic parcel shipments instead. And then, of course, this software is free, and away you go. All right. And it's very easy. You can actually use both of these simultaneously. You could start with Order Ship Express and move to Dynamic Ship or whatever you want to do. All right. So that's kind of the various applications we have, or the key ones in the warehouse. We're going to focus today on that warehouse insight. So before I get into it real quick, just a quick differentiation between the free product and the subscription product. So Warehouse Insight, production, warehouse, all the applications you need are there. You can customize it as much as you like. You've got that add-on catalog. You can run as many devices as you want on it, and it's a paid product. WMS Express, it's got the core functions that I mentioned earlier, receiving, picking or shipping, bin movement, stock take, and it's limited to 5 concurrent devices. So that means you might have 10 or 15 devices out in the shop. As long as you're only using 5 at a time, you can use the WMS Express. And if you do want more, you can buy additional licenses, and they're fairly low cost. They're, I think it's like €10 a month or something for licenses. So fairly low cost. So you can expand this up to 50, 100 licenses if you want at an extremely low cost. But most people are using it, with those 5 concurrent licenses.
Right. So Mark, just on that. So obviously, I really like that you've kind of got the functionally rich applications, and then these slightly more express versions, slightly easier to deploy. I can see you've got that limitation of kind of the concurrent devices. Are those apps and kind of the free applications in general, are they all kept up to date? Are they supported in the same way as your paid apps?
Absolutely, yeah. They're up to date. We put a lot of effort into the free applications. There's new releases every few months, they're not sort of the lost leader type things like or bait and switch, I should say. It's not try the free one, and then after half an hour you realize it's not going to work for you and you have to buy the paid one. We actually have more people switching from the paid version to the free version than the other way around. They realize, hey, for everything I do, I can use the Express version. I don't need to pay money for my warehouse management. So yes, they are kept up to date. They are supported. We have a knowledge base and a community forum where a lot of the free app support goes through. But yes, absolutely.
Excellent. Thanks.
All right. Now, with that, what I wanted to do is just walk you very quickly, because again, we're going to have a lightning ride through this, a little bit on the Warehouse Insight application. So we're going to start here within Business Central. I'm going to really briefly talk about sort of that customization capability, because that is a pretty strong differentiator, right? We go into these environments and, everybody has slightly different processes, or they need a different application. Maybe they want to do requisitions on the handheld or something that maybe isn't out of the box. Well, the ability for you, not just us, but for you to go in and tailor the solution is pretty significant. So what we have here within the system, again, everything is managed in Business Central. We use web services to talk to Business Central, so it's all real time. We use the standard Business Central configurations and everything else. But in here, you can see we've got applications and the application wizard and offline applications and all those sorts of things. You have full control over that. So if I want to go in here and I want to look at the code for one of the applications, I can open up that application list here and choose one of the applications, like, I don't know, let's do bin inquiry. And if I hit, and here's all the menus, so you can tailor your menus. Like if you want, the print button, we can do printing from the handheld from any application, and there's support selections you can set, or you can have your own custom reports or whatever you like. But if I look at this one and I just, and the columns, like what we're displaying in the view and any fact boxes you add and all those sorts of things. But if I actually look at how this application is built, I just hit design here, and this is going to open up the application designer, which allows us to really, again, tailor the solution and do whatever we want. This is actually how all the applications are built. I can go in here and say, hey, you know what? When somebody scans a license plate, and the license plate would represent a pallet or a package or something like that, I could say, you know what? I want, the person to sign the screen when we scan a license plate. Probably don't want to do that, but I can do that. And this would work. If I save this application and I'm in bin inquiry and I scan a license plate, it'll pop up a place for me to sign the screen. Or, prompt a user or ask for quantities or whatever you want. So all the applications are built in this, and you can override these applications, essentially create extensions to the base applications to make them do whatever you want. As I mentioned, that add-on marketplace that we have, let's just go back in here. The add-on marketplace, add-on catalog, I should call it, that has a lot of those extensions. So if you don't want to build an extension, it might be available in the add-on marketplace. Or if you want to, add-on catalog, sorry, if you want to see how to build one of these extensions, you can come in here. All the source code and everything is available for all of these different extensions and applications. And some of these are very simple extensions that just, gives you the ability to type in a location instead of scan a barcode for a location, the standard fact boxes. But we have pretty significant applications like the fixed asset count or proof of delivery. All of those sorts of things are there. And again, all that code is available for you. And if you want this, I can click on this, hit install, and I've now got that, capability on the handheld. Pretty simple. So again, that extensibility, hugely important for a lot of implementations because people want to tailor and adapt a solution to their needs. But of course, if you don't want to do that, you install the system and you're on the setup wizard and you want to start using it immediately, you can. So if you've got Business Central set up with the processes you like you have warehouse receipts on or not, or warehouse picks or inventory picks or whatever you've got set up, you can install Warehouse Insight, run the setup wizard. You'll get a barcode to scan to configure the device, and you're up and running. And what that looks like once you do that is, you've got a device. I've got this. And if you check our website, there's a video on WMS Express that goes through actually that whole setup process, right? How do you install it? How do you configure the device? All that sort of thing. And the end result is this. And what that looks like, there's the screen for my device. So as I move it, you can see it there. And these are all the default applications that get installed when you run that setup wizard. So, the inquiry applications, I can scan a barcode, it tells me what it is. The advanced inventory count, which is the stock take, far superior to what Business Central has by default. It'll, properly reconcile lot numbers, serial numbers, things like that. So very valuable to have for stock take. All the standard applications, right? Warehouse movements or just scan barcodes to move things around, pick shipments. And again, we support every warehouse configuration. You don't even need to have bins enabled to be able to use Warehouse Insight or WMS Express, right? So everything from no bins all the way up to directed put away and pick will work, right? In addition, we have manufacturing. So we have the consumption and output. We have sort of more advanced consumption than standard Business Central provides. We have output, we have assembly order. So assemble to stock items we can handle as well. License plating is the palletizing or packaging of items. So again, another much more advanced module for managing groups of items together. Typically used for outbound, but can also be used for inbound handling, for just general warehouse management, those sorts of things. And some offline capabilities as well. You can create your own offline apps or use the default one here as well. These last few, the fixed asset count, that came in from the add-on catalog. I clicked install, bang, I've got a new application on my handheld device. These three here, job consumption, requisitions, and inventory recording, these I created with the application wizard. Each one took about 10 minutes to create, and now I have the ability to do job consumption on a handheld device. We don't ship a job module with, Warehouse Insight, but it took 10 minutes, and now I can do job consumption. Or requisition worksheets. Again, 10 minutes, and now I can scan things to a requisition worksheet. That's how simple it is to tailor. Now, again, if you don't want to tailor it and you just want to use it as is, no problem. Let's jump in and actually see what these things look like. I'm going to jump in, and we're going to start with receiving here. And when I do that, it pops up, gives me a list of all the purchase orders or warehouse receipts or whatever you've got set up to choose from. And if you want to tailor the screen individually, so I just have to angle this so I can see what I'm tapping on.
And just while you're doing that, Mark, I can see on your website you've actually got lists of all of the different compatible hardware devices, and you've got even comparisons between them for anyone that's out there in the market at the moment.
Absolutely. We can help you select a device And again, we can supply those devices in the EU and North America. So, if you need the devices, we can help you figure out what you need and potentially supply those devices for you as well. At any rate, what I was trying to do there was tap the screen. So I just tap the screen, and I can actually tailor, at the device level as well, what I want to see on the screen. So basically, like personalization within Business Central, but I'm doing it at the device level here. Most of this would normally be set within Business Central. I can add whatever fields I want in Business Central, custom fields, flow fields, calculated fields that aren't in a table, but I can show in here based on a formula we define in Warehouse Insight, all those sorts of things. So I can tailor, those screens as much as I like. And that's basically it. So, but in this case, all I'm going to do is I'm going to choose one of these purchase orders. You can type in part of the PO number or scan an item to bring it up. But I'm just going to grab this purchase order 003 here. And incidentally, I'm using the physical keypad quite a bit. I mean, you can use devices that, like the phone style device that doesn't have a physical keypad. Doesn't really matter what type of device you want to use. But now what I've got is I've got a list of all the items I need to receive, the quantity, the unit of measure, and everything else. And as a matter of fact, on this one, I added like the cross-dock quantities and those sorts of things. So you can add whatever fields you want in here. Down here, it tells you what you scanned in. Now at this point, and I don't have the receiving bin shown. I've hidden the bin, but it's just going into a receiving bin because it created a warehouse receipt for me when I chose that purchase order. But again, if you want to receive directly against purchase orders or use inventory putaways, no problem. Now, at this point, ideally, you just start scanning barcodes. But if you don't have barcodes, you can actually print barcodes at this point. I hit print, that sends it out to Business Central. Business Central prints the labels, I apply them, and away I go. Or I could just choose a line and hit enter on my physical keypad or do this change quantity, enter a quantity that I've received for a specific item, and then it prints the labels. So you have a lot of options there. But if I am going to be scanning, I'll just show you some sample barcodes I'll be using. Now, these were actually generated, this list, all these sheets of barcodes were generated using our barcode generator tool. That's that free tool. It has something called a sample barcode list. It allows you to build up barcodes like this, like pages of barcodes like this for testing or for demos or whatever you want to do. Now, I've used data matrix barcodes, so we can print those, we can print QR codes, we can print standard barcodes, whatever you like, and in whatever format you want. It's just a Business Central report. Now, for me, I've found a box here at receiving. I'm going to start scanning. So I'm going to scan, this 1908-S. It's about halfway down the screen there. I don't have to know what it is I'm scanning. I scan a barcode. It finds it. It optionally shows me a picture of that item. And you can have that go anywhere. By last demo, I had to turn on the virtual keyboard. We don't want that because I have a nice physical keyboard. But that's what it would look like. If I didn't have a physical keyboard, it pops up the normal Android keyboard to type in the numbers. But here I'm going to come in and enter what I've received in this particular box, 11 pieces. Now that quantity, and this works the same way in every application in the system. That quantity can default to the remaining quantity, to 0, and force me to scan 11 times to receive 11 pieces, all that. The unit of measure, you can default into whatever you like, put away unit of measure, receiving unit of measure, base unit of measure, or a unit of measure that comes from the barcode. So if I scan a case, that'll automatically bring up the case unit of measure versus scanning a single unit. At any rate, I just enter the quantity in this case. It comes in, updates Business Central with the quantity, tells me I have 10 left to receive. That turned red, kind of hard to see maybe on the screen, but that turned red. That's just a color rule I added as a demo. You can set colors and all sorts of styles based on criteria that's on the screen. So partial receipt for me is red. Now, if I find more of that item in another box, I simply again scan the barcode. Optionally look at the picture there. There's a bit of lag. You can see it update on this screen, but not the main screen. I've got 10, hit OK or enter, and we've updated Business Central, and we're good to go. That's how receiving works. There's a bunch of other things we can do. We can also come in, we can do RFID receiving, of course, but we can take photos. So if you receive damaged product or something like that, I can come in, and this take picture capability is available on every application. So if you're shipping, you can take pictures of pallets and everything before they leave so that you can prove they're left in good shape. If I receive damaged product, I can go in, take a picture, and say yes, that thing was damaged, and that automatically uploads and attaches to the purchase order so that the purchaser has what they need to start a claim. And again, you can enable that take picture functionality anyway. You can also use it to update the picture on the item card if you like as well. So you can take photos of your items to update your item card. But that's basically it for receiving. We would support serial numbers, lot numbers, all sorts of things. So this particular one, this barcode at the bottom has a lot number in it. So I'll scan that. It automatically pulls the lot number out of the barcode. Same thing with if there was an expiration date or package number or serial number, it pulls all of that out of the barcode. And again, I can come in and enter quantity. I can change my unit of measure. Maybe I'm receiving boxes, so I manually changed it. All those sorts of things. I can set lot information here, so I can do basic quality inspections on it, and you can customize these pages as much as you like, and that's basically it. So that's receiving. But the nice thing is that process works the same way everywhere in the system. If I'm doing a stock take, typically with stock take, I'm going to scan a bin, but I scan the bin, I scan the item, enter the quantity. Looks and works the same in almost every application you're dealing with. So at this point, if I gave you a scanner with the software running, you'd be able to execute picks, you'd be able to do receiving, you'd be able to do stock takes because you've just been trained on how it works. And that's how it works. Pretty darn simple. All right, so that's the basics of the software. And again, there is a trial version, you can install it. If you need help setting up your device to do the barcode scanning and everything appropriately, get a hold of us, we can help you set that up. You can try it out and see how it works. And yeah, it's as simple as that. There's no registration or signing up or anything. You can go ahead and do that. Or the WMS Express, which is completely free, right? All right, now with that, I won't cover off much more than that basic demo there, but if you do have more questions about what it looks like, go to our website. There's longer online videos. There's tons of information there. Go to our YouTube channel. There's the InsightWorks University playlist. It's got tons of details on how to configure it and how to tailor it, all sorts of good stuff there. But if you do need our help with implementation, as I was mentioning, we do it two ways. Now, you can't implement it yourself. We generally suggest that the first time you do an implementation, you use our services to do it. And there's two ways of doing it. Well, three technically. T&M, where we'll just come in and bill you for the hours it takes to do it. Or we have two fixed price options. And the fixed price, one is called Rapid Implementation. You still need to have Business Central set up. We'll come in, we'll implement the WMS, we'll train, we'll support, we'll help with go live, we'll do all that kind of stuff. Very easy. It's not a very expensive project. Partners get margin on that as well, on that implementation. Or you can use Quick Start. And Quick Start is ideal if you're already on Business Central, SaaS, so whether it's WMS Express or Warehouse Insight, you have to be on SaaS. You're already using Business Central, so you already know how to, do a pick. Like you're live on Business Central and you're using it in the way you want to keep using it. You just want to add barcode into Business Central, right? So all of these things, and basically that's a 1 or 2 day effort. We're in and out. You're up and running with barcoding in Business Central within a couple of days, and it's really simple. The price on that, I don't know what it is in euros or pounds, but it's about $1,500 US, and away you go. Simple as that, right? So you're up and running within a couple of days, very low cost. And if you're using WMS Express, then the software is free, and you're paying a very small amount for implementation. And you have barcoding in Business Central, and customers are extraordinarily happy, and everybody goes on their way. All right, now I'll put this up here, and then we'll switch back over to Rufus. If you do need more information, go to WMS for Dynamics or WMSExpress.com to see what's available, to look at those videos and get all the information you need on those products and everything else that we have. All right, that's all I had for today.
Thank you, Mark. And I really appreciate the overview around Warehouse Insights and some of your capabilities around stock management in Business Central. I mean, for anyone that has used Business Central, especially on the manufacturing side, it is not very functionally rich whatsoever. And I think that InsightWorks do a great job of, as you say, providing not just one app, but a whole raft and platform of interlocking applications that can really boost the capabilities of a business that works in that area. If anyone does have any questions, please do put those into the chat at the moment. Even if you're watching on demand or on LinkedIn after the broadcast, please do feel free to either get in touch with Mark and the team at InsightWorks at the link below, or just drop a message into the chat and we'll come back to you there. Okay. So thank you, Mark. I really appreciate your time and a great overview. And yeah, I'm sure we will be sitting down together again at some point in the near future.
Sounds good.
Thank you, everyone. And I hope you enjoyed today's session.